I moved to Melbourne in 2009. I had one of those love at first sight moments with Melbourne. I felt like I was resonating at the same frequency as the city. I'm Beck Scott, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of STREAT. I could never work out when I finished school if I wanted to be a plant biologist or an artist, and flipped a coin and ended up as a plant biologist and then at the CSIRO for a decade. I took 3 months off to go to Vietnam to do some volunteer work and stumbled upon a social enterprise without even knowing what a social enterprise was. And that was an organisation called COTO in Vietnam, in Hanoi. And I just went in to have a lunch break. As I was waiting for my meal, read the little postcard that was on the table, and it said, the young people that are in here are getting hospitality skills. Your meal is going to help them exit homelessness and come off the streets of Hanoi and into new careers. So for me, it was just this incredible light bulb moment, realising that you can solve a social issue like homelessness using a business. STREAT was supposed to be a whole fleet of street food carts all over inner Melbourne, kind of inspired by the street food culture that you get in most other countries around the world. We pushed our first cart out onto Federation Square on the 15th of March in 2010, straight into winter. By 2012, we started to have cafes, and so now STREAT is actually a portfolio of hospitality and food service businesses, anywhere from cafes and an artisan bakery and coffee roastery and a catering company. All of those businesses exist to create opportunities for young people. It looks like any other business from the outside. Of course, we've got baristas and bakers and chefs and cooks. But what you don't see in the background is this incredible group of psychologists and youth workers and social workers and our beautiful therapy dog Magic. That team are there to be able to wrap around our young people. And so whilst they're getting all of their skills in hospitality, they're also getting all the other supports that they need.
Really big thing that I got out of STREAT was a knowledge of what stability might look like, and like a real desire for that.
They've taken you to a stage where you feel like you can do anything you want.
In the type of job that I've got, every single week I see the best and worst of Melbourne. You can see what it's like when people are on the margins the whole time, and when systems fail them and when institutions fail them. And they'll come to us from many circumstances, but normally because there's no other options. They might be coming to us from the state's prisons, from homelessness services, from drug and alcohol detox places, from mental health institutions, straight off the streets of the CBD. Those young people have often been on the margins, and we've almost written them off because they're too complex already, even though they might only be 16. But we know that if you provide the right nurturing environment and the right supports and wrap all of that around a young person at the right time, what we know, for example, is that a young person's lifetime employability with a year of game-changing intervention can go from nothing to 85%. We know that if you can give an amazing opportunity for a year and do all of that, you can change the trajectory of that young life. I think we didn't really realise the power of our model until you could see that our graduates were now parents themselves and watching their children's circumstances be different to their own circumstances. So it's that intergenerational stuff that we're excited about. It's stopping the cycle, not just now, but in the future as well, that matters. I'm still at my heart probably the plant biologist who's really interested in how do we solve problems. One of the things that I've been doing in this last couple of years is trying to build this bigger ecosystem of social enterprises that collaborate together and all work collectively together on social and environmental problems. We've built this beautiful little place in the heart of the CBD at Queen Victoria Market. It's called the Purpose Precinct. And that little precinct is about showcasing what social enterprises can do. We've got more than 3,500 social enterprises across the state. Part of what we're trying to do is connect up all of those tiny little social enterprises around the whole state and get them working as an ecosystem, not just kind of feeling like tiny little islands, but what does it feel like when we're all connected and trying to solve problems together? So that's part of what I'm spending my time on, and certainly what the next, hopefully, decade of my career looks like too. Melbourne really prides itself on being this incredible international hospo city, but I think what it's really good at doing is celebrating culture through food and bringing people to the table. I can't imagine a city where we leave any young person behind. And the city that I want to be part of says, no one gets left behind here. Everyone can see a future in this city, no matter their starting point.